It's the second day of summer, but perhaps the hottest day of the year. 97 outside, the real feel 102 here at Prince George's Community College. Hello and welcome in to another matchup between the Cropdusters and the DC Grays. I'm Jish Sokolsky, joined as always by Jack Feldman, ready to give you this one. And while the temperature might be hot, Jack, the Cropdusters are possibly even hotter.
The Cropdusters bats on fire last night in one of the more unbelievable games I've ever witnessed, Jish. It looked like that game was over until it wasn't.
8 runs scored for the big train in the bottom of the ninth. The Cropdusters were leading by 9, though, going into that frame. Escaped by the skin of their teeth with a 13-12 win. A game where you're right, Jack. The Cropdusters bats were hot. 14 hits, 8 walks, and of course, 13 runs. That's the second most that the Cropdusters have scored this season. But they're up against the team in the DC Grays where they have had little to no success. The Grays are the only team the Cropdusters haven't beaten, and in the 2 games they played them, they have a combined 4 runs.
It just seems like every time the Cropdusters run up against the DC Grays, the bats just go silent. And you're right, they're kind of their bugaboo. They just can't seem to get over the hump.
Last time these 2 teams played was at First Responder Field, a 13-3 blowout loss for the Cropdusters. Really, the wheels just came off in the 4th inning, but they'll look to have different success this time around against a similar pitcher. On the mound for the DC Grays is Corey Savedoff, yet again making his 3rd appearance against the Cropdusters. He's gone 6 2/3 total with 5 strikeouts, 5 hits, 1 run, it wasn't earned, with 4 walks.
There are a lot of guys on this DC Grays team, Jish, that just got Cropduster killers. They just always seem to perform well.
Corey Savedoff, one of them, but for the rest of the season, the numbers aren't that impressive. A 7.9 ERA, only 12 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings pitched, but for whatever reason, he turns it on against the Cropdusters. Leading off for the Crops is Carter Hines, today playing second base, playing the shortstop position, getting his 3rd action against the DC Grays. One of the Cropdusters' better hitters, but is hitless against the Grays on the year, went 0 for 4 last time they played.
He's coming off of a 3-hit game where it looked like the Carter Hines we saw at the beginning of the season.
Carter Hines had 2 singles and a double in that game. Started off 3 for 3, went 0 for 3 to end the game, but on the season he's been hitting lights out. Top of the first, tied at 0. The first pitch from Savedoff. Right down the middle, strike 1. A good pitch to start off against Carter Hines. A loud cheer from his dugout. 0-1 the count. No outs and none on for Hines. Righty deals to righty. It's chopped up the middle over the head of Savedoff, the pitcher. On the run, Ruocco fields it but can't make the throw. Carter Hines, blazing speed for an infield hit.
Well, as soon as that ball got over the head of Corey Savedoff, you knew that was basically an infield single with Carter Hines' speed.
That's now 20 hits on the season for Carter Hines. He leads the Cropdusters in that category. Up next for the Crops is the lefty shortstop. Second baseman today, Mac Lewis from Purdue. Started off his first ever Cropdusters performance was at this very field where he went 3 for 3. He's got a runner at first with no outs in the top of the first. Pitch too low for ball 1. Savedoff couldn't locate the bottom part with a little 12-6 curveball. Lewis on the year is hitting .250, 5 hits and 20 at-bats for the rising sophomore. Runner goes. Ball misses wide. No, it's a strike, and Carter Hines slides into second, feet first, to steal the first base for the Cropdusters. They stole 4 last night. Carter Hines didn't get one, and now he gets the first today to put a runner in scoring position.
Just we've talked about how on this field, guys really have to adjust their slides in order to not slide past the bag.
It is a turf field, really brutal to play on a hot day like today. So 1-1 the count for Lewis at the plate. Hines at second, the only base runner. 1-1 misses low and away for ball 1. 12-6 curve has been tried twice to no avail. Lewis stands tall, bat held close to his back shoulder. 2-1 the count, no outs. Swing and a line drive to first. Lehman dives to make the play, runs back to first for the unassisted out number 1, but it brings Carter Hines to third base, 90 feet away from being the first runner of this game. So there's a runner at third with now just one out in the top of the first, still scoreless, and Ehi Okoji up to bat. The Hartford Community College outfielder playing DH tonight has started the last 2 games for the Cropdusters, went 2 for 5 last night against the Big Train. First pitch, low and away, ball 1.
Okoji's been hitting into some bad luck recently. It just seems like every game he's played, he's had at least one ball that was blistered at an outfielder.
He's also been hit by quite a few pitches. 3 hit by pitches in the last 2 days. The 1-0. Hit on a line to short. Colella fields it, makes the shuffle step throw for out number 2, but Carter Hines scores from third. A sacrifice hit from Okoji makes it 1-0 Cropdusters in the top of the first.
We talked about how important it is to get off to an early lead, especially in a game like today where the heat's going to come into play. Guys are going to slow down.
Well, Jack, it's important to get to that early lead, but it's even more important to sustain it. The Cropdusters went up 1-0 in the top of the first last time they played here, scored no runs the rest of the way. First pitch to Lukac is hit up the middle. Colella at short fields it off the ground, makes the throw across, and it beats the fast run from Lukac to first for out number 3. So 1 run scores, 1 hit to speak of from Carter Hines. He came in from a sacrifice hit from Ehi Okoji, and the Cropdusters draw first blood. They're up 1-0 midway through the first inning. Stay with us for the bottom of the first, where Diego Cardenas throws for the 2nd time this season. One nothing the Cropdusters lead midway through the first. Diego Cardenas, the starting pitcher for the Crops, getting his first work of the afternoon. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. And boy, oh boy, Jack, it's a hot one. We look out to center field. On this turf field, you see the heat waves bubbling up from the surface. It's brutal out there to play some baseball.
Cropdusters are wearing their typically practice jerseys, the yellow undershirts, instead of their actual jerseys. That's how hot it is.
Good safety precaution instituted by Coach Leader today to avoid exhausting these players' pitch, but that does come with some complications. Cardenas, the righty from Indianapolis, typically wears 29, but I guess they don't have a 29 practice jersey. He's wearing number 39 today. A little bit of a baggy practice shirt, to say the least, hanging off of his waist, but he'll see if he has the secret sauce against the Grays. The Cropdusters winless against the Grays in 2 tries this season.
Down for the Grays, the left fielder, number 22.
And a big reason for that has been
Owens.
because of Eli Owens' dominance in the leadoff spot for the batters. He started both games the Grays have played the Cropdusters. Only 1 for 5, but he's drawn 4 walks, 2 hit by pitches. This is a guy who gets on base. Swing and a line drive to second. Lewis fields it off the hop, makes the play over to first. Davis, the grab at first for out number 1. A 1-pitch out. Economical, Jack.
Well, that's my favorite word, Jish, and always seems like Cardenas has quick innings. He really pitches to contact.
Now batting for the Grays.
It's soft contact.
From Lafayette,
Cardenas has only started one other game, a shutout of the Gaithersburg Giants just last week. He went 3 innings in that one. 3 shutout innings, of course, with 3 strikeouts. This is a guy who pitches at a D2 school, but can throw all the way up to 90. First pitch too low to the 2-hole batter for the Grays. That's Matt Colella, the shortstop. Had a very great game last time he played the Cropdusters, where he went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Second pitch misses just far outside. The off-speed doesn't fool Colella, who's up 2-0 in the bottom of this first. 1 out, none on. 1-0 the Crops lead. The 2-0. Checks his swing. He did not go around, says the home plate umpire. It's 3 balls to no strikes for Colella. 4 runs in that game as well. 3-0. Right down the middle. Cardenas relocates the bottom corner for strike 1. Cardenas, a very fluid motion. He snaps his hips on the pitch. He's got 3 balls and 1 strike. That's hit on a line over the head of the shortstop into left field for the first hit for the Grays. Lukac fields it, throws it back into the diamond to stop the run at first. Colella with a well-hit ball to get things going for the Grays.
Colella continues his streak of absolutely tormenting the Cropdusters. Not only on the offensive side, he's playing shortstop tonight, but last time these two teams played, had a great game at third base.
A lot of infield versatility. It also comes down to James Lehman, the shortstop from last game, now up to bat. Went 1 for 6 in that game, but hitting the 3-hole, they trust him to get on base. First pitch, low and in, ball 1, the lefty gets ahead of the righty Cardenas. Crops lead 1-0. There's a runner at first base with 1 out in the bottom of this first. James Lehman looking to do some damage to a baseball. 1-0 the count. Runner at first, Cardenas delivers. Hit to second. Lewis slides, makes the grab and the throw for out number 2.
It's a really nice play by Mac Lewis. We've seen him struggle a little bit defensively so far this season, but tonight he's looked very solid.
There's a difference between putting Mac Lewis at second base and third base. He's played third base a little bit too. That's where most of his errors have come. And on an unpredictable turf field like this where the ball can bounce any which way, Mac Lewis does a good job adjusting, sliding, making the play.
The turf will help you defensively.
2 outs and a runner at second for the Grays. That would be the tying run. First pitch to the 4-hole hitter Lavenga is high and in for ball 1. Lavenga playing right field tonight from William and Mary. Is up ahead of Cardenas. A look back and the delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Diego Cardenas has a good mix of the off-speed and the fastball. Drops in 2 off-speeds to start. Caught him swinging at the second one. 1-1 the count. Crops lead 1-0 in the bottom of this first with 2 outs and a runner at second. Cardenas the look back and the delivery. Hit on a liner right to the third baseman Boma, who leans over, makes the grab for out number 3. A great play from Boma to lunge to his right to complete the line out, and the Crops still hold on to a 1-0 margin of a lead after the first inning. To the top of the second we go. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call here on YouTube. Stay with us. After 1 inning, the Cropdusters lead 1-0 over the DC Grays. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. Good defense complements good offense typically, and the Cropdusters went out of that first inning after allowing just 1 hit to Mac Colella, and defense in the infield particularly did the job the rest of the way. Mac Lewis and Ryan Boma, 2 bright spots today so far.
Jish, are we going with a little casual Friday look today? Normally a little more dressed up.
I usually am, you know, it's a road game, it's super hot. I decided to rep my school. I'm wearing the Syracuse orange and some plaid golfer pants, and I mean, casual Friday just seems to be your MO, Jack. Casual Friday every day, right?
Listen, a game like this, yeah, casual shirt, comfy.
We should make baseball broadcasts casual again. You know, I see some of my friends at Syracuse up in different leagues wearing their suits to their summer ball games.
Unbelievable.
Oh, geez, on a day like today, I can't even imagine. Ryan Boma, the man who just made the line out, chops the first pitch he sees to short. Colella fields it off the even hop and beats Ryan Boma to first with the throw for out number 1. Colella, a busy day at that shortstop slot. Again, as you said, Jack played third base last time, but it seems that he's just as seamless at shortstop.
The center fielder, number 22, Coy Swanson.
Coy Swanson up to bat. After sitting out last night, he's back in action. Takes the first pitch well into left field, a line right to that left fielder, though. A well-hit ball, but Elias Owens tracks over a few steps and makes the play. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. You'll take that any day of the week if you're Corey Savedoff, the Grace pitcher.
Swanson put a good swing on it just right at the left fielder Owens. Nothing you can do about that.
2 pitches, 2 outs in the top of the second. The Cropdusters lead 1-0 with none on. Connor Spellman has the job to save the inning. Takes one high for ball 1, and you're never going to catch Spellman swinging at one he doesn't like. Spellman not the most hits on the year, only 2 hits, but 11 walks. Second most on the team. 1-0. Powered foul for strike 1. Popped it towards the right base side, and he evens things up with a ball and a strike.
Connor Spellman, one of the on-base kings of the Cropdusters.
I would say that's a pretty accurate assessment. An OBP of over 40%. With none on and 2 outs. Takes one low for ball 2. And on a hot day like today, you'd expect the Florida native like Spellman to really thrive while players from up north, maybe in the Maryland area, aren't doing so hot. 2-1 the count with 2 outs and none on. Spellman leads over the pitcher Savedoff. Swing and a miss for strike 2, though. Great movement on the curveball, and a late cut caught Spellman's bat high.
Well, we're lucky today, Jish. We got the tent over us.
This is a first for us. The canopy. Shout out Coach Leader for hooking us up with that. The 2-2 check swing, and it misses low and away for ball 3. A full count at the top of this second inning. Cropdusters lead it 1-0 over the Grays. But it's been quick. But the first 2 batters were made quick work of. A ground out for Boma and a fly out for Coy Swanson. Spellman looking to extend the inning on the full count. 2 outs. Takes it low and away. Chance of good from his dugout as he takes ball 4 and his first walk of the day. Connor Spellman just gets on base, his 12th walk of the season.
Now batting for the Cropdusters, the first baseman, number 32, Ben Davis.
It's Ben Davis up to bat for the Cropdusters. The McDaniel first baseman has had a really bad stretch offensively as he takes the first pitch low and in for strike 1.
He's still looking to get it going. Now, as good a time as ever.
He has 2 hits on the season, both of them against the Big Train. That was on June 3rd. That's almost 20 days ago. 0-1 the count with a runner at first. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Must be very difficult for Davis, who had such a good collegiate season, to start off struggling in summer ball, have to turn it around.
In over 300 in college, hitless in his last 6 games. Takes one off the foot. A hit by pitch will put Ben Davis on the base paths. So that brings up Griffin Pouvel, the speedy right fielder for the Cropdusters, hitting at the bottom of the order today.
Number 24, Griffin Pouvel.
He's got runners at second and first. The catcher Spellman in scoring position, and Ben Davis, the first baseman, at first with 2 outs in the top of this second. The Crops lead 1-0. Savedoff looking to finally get out of it. But Pouvel takes one low for ball 1.
Pouvel, one of those guys that has just gotten better and better as the season has gone on. Always been a great defensive outfielder, but the hitting has really come on as of late.
Pouvel hitting .250 on the season, all said and done. 8 for 32 at the bag. Half of his season hits came in one game against the Braves just a week ago. And he takes one high, right into the elbow. He'll take a base to load the bases and bring up the top of the order. 2 straight hit by pitches from Corey Savedoff. Still 2 outs in this second inning. But now we'll see what this Cropdusters team is made of. This was their Achilles heel last time they played here. They left runners on, but with runners on all square bases and the top of the order up, there's no excuses for the Cropdusters right now.
The last time the Cropdusters played at this field, you're absolutely right, Jish. They started off hot in the first inning, and after that, they were just leaving a village on the base paths.
13 left on the last time they played here. Carter Hines steps up to the righty batter's box. He's 1 for 1 on the day, and he's got plenty of speed with bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the second inning, excuse me. Carter Hines yet to hit a home run this season. Did not hit one in college either. He's more of a contact hitter. Had 3 runs batted in last night against the big train. First pitch low. Ball 1. The curveball can't find the zone. And Hines gets ahead of Savedoff yet again.
Savedoff losing the zone a little bit. Back-to-back hit batters. Now falling behind Hines.
1-0 the count. 2 outs. Bases loaded in the top of the second. Crops lead 1-0. Righty deals to righty. Takes it high for a ball 2. Dugouts are getting loud now. This is by far the biggest at-bat of this young game. It's the top of the second with bases loaded.
No one you want more in this spot than Carter Hines.
Carter Hines with a 2-0 count. 2 outs and bases loaded. The pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1. A great placed fastball from Savedoff, finally abandoning the off-speed and trying to attack Carter Hines the old-fashioned way. Hines has 9 runs batted in this season, tied for 3rd on the team. 2-1 the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. Takes it down the middle again for strike 2. Savedoff working his way back, goes with a slider and cuts out to the outside part of the zone.
Really impressive by Savedoff, falling behind 2-0 with the bases loaded. Just being able to throw 2 strikes, fight back in the count.
2-2 count. 2 outs and bases loaded in the top of the second. Crops lead 1-0. The 2-2. Swing and a foul ball. Hines keeps the inning alive. A little early on the play. A little heckle of ugly finder as the foul ball nearly hit Adam Leader in the face. That'll be bad for your playing time. Unnamed Cropduster. I didn't hear who it was, but hopefully Leader didn't hear that. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. Savedoff stands tall, shuffles back and forth, and delivers. Hines takes it high and away. A full count with bases loaded and 2 outs. In the top of this second inning, the Cropdusters already lead by 1. But they're 1 ball away from making it a 2-0 affair.
Hines so hard to strike out. Such a disciplined hitter.
3-2 the count. 2 outs and bases loaded. Savedoff settles in and from the stretch. Swing and a towering fly ball to center field. Back on his horse is the outfielder Cooley. The LSU product camps under it at the warning track and makes the play to put this inning to bed. 3 runners left on for the Cropdusters. And no score to speak of. A crushing blow at the top of the second. The Crops still lead 1-0. The Grays have a chance to fight right back when we return on YouTube. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. One nothing, the Cropdusters lead midway through the second inning. A real crushing blow for the Crops to leave 3 on at the top of this frame, and the Grays have a chance to respond right back. Diego Cardenas had a pretty shutdown inning the last time he faced these Grays lineup. Only 1 hit to speak of.
The second baseman, number 9.
Still looking for that first strikeout. It's up against Anthony Rucco first. The second baseman from Winthrop University. Got 40 starts his freshman year in the spring. First pitch is high for ball 1. Cardenas starts off with the off speed but can't locate the zone. Ruocco, another Florida native. This is a game like this probably feels a little comfortable, a little close to home. 1-0. Swinging a foul ball. Strike one. It is, of course, a very hot day if you're just joining us. Feels like 102 degrees. Brutal on this turf field here at Prince George's Community College.
You know what they say, Jish. Turf makes the weather 10 degrees hotter.
1-1 the count. I can't imagine sliding on a surface like this. Ruocco chops one down the left field line and foul for strike two.
Well, some of the DC Grays players were lying out sleeveless in the sun trying to get a tan.
I can't even imagine what that's like. They're all wearing their full uniforms as well today. The Cropdusters wearing their warm-up uniforms to avoid heat exhaustion, but not a worry for the Grays. The 1-2 is chopped down through the third base side for a base hit to left field. Lukac fields it after the single, so a second hit to the Grays puts another runner on. That's Anthony Ruocco's first hit of the day. It brings up Greg Marmo, the third baseman from George Washington.
Now batting for the Grays, the third baseman, number 51.
The righty is a weapon on the diamond and in the classroom, too. He's a Gonzaga transfer, but went to IMG Academy where he graduated with a 3.96 GPA. Absolute academic weapon as
GPA in high school, Jish.
GPA. We didn't actually do GPA. Cardenas beats him with the off-speed hide in for strike one. I did average a 95, though.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, with the pandemic, I got to coast, but it was, you know, he's still got to stay locked in no matter what. Second pitch misses away for ball one. 1-1 the count with a runner at first base. Crops lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Cardenas takes a look back at second and delivers. A low fastball for ball two. A 2-1 count for Diego Cardenas. There's 4 pitchers listed for the Cropdusters today. You imagine that arms are going to get tired a little bit quicker with the hot weather. 2-1.
Yeah.
Pop fly to right field. Puvel giving chase towards the foul line. It lands for a foul ball. Strike
Absolutely,
two.
Jish. We were talking to Coach Leader before the game. He said they have plenty of waters in the dugout. They have a mister in the dugout, so they came prepared.
Gatorades as well. They're making sure the players are well prepared for this heat wave. 2-2 the count for Diego Cardenas with a runner at first base. Throw back that way. In and out of the glove of Davis, so the runner is safe. Crops lead at 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning with no outs. 2-2 the count. Runner at first. The pitch. Runner goes. Swing. It's hit up the middle. Hines fields it at short. Makes the throw to first on time for the first out. The steal attempt from Ruocco at first beats out any play at the second base bag, so he's safe there. And just one out to speak of in the bottom of the second on a fielder's choice.
That was a smart decision for Anthony Ruocco to steal there, because if he didn't, that was a tailor-made double play.
Well designed. Patrick Niehaus, the designated hitter, now up to bat. The Grays' statistical best hitter, hitting .318 on the year, with their most at-bats, too, at 44. A high batting stance. He swings through the first pitch for strike one. Holds that bat really high above his head. But it's paid dividends for him so far this season. Not quite against the Cropdusters. He's 2 for 9 in 2 starts. With two runs, but 5 strikeouts. The 0-1 misses high, ball 1.
Cardenas really attacking from that lower third arm slot.
The changeup hasn't quite sunk into the zone as he's liked just yet. 1-1 the count. 1 out and a runner at second base. Crops lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second. The 1-1 misses low and away for ball 2.
Cardenas just does all the little things right. Does a really good job of holding base runners, quick to the plate.
Haven't seen a lot of Diego Cardenas, but we've liked what we've seen so far. 2-1 the count. 1 out and a runner at second. Cardenas, a late joiner from the University of Indianapolis. Pitch in the exact same spot, but this one a called strike. Strike 2. Even ballerina count, 2-2, with 1 out and a runner at second. Crops lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Cardenas was the ace at UIndy, pitched the most innings there, and was still slinging in summer ball. The 2-2. Too low, ball 3, a full count. Cardenas almost 90 strikeouts this past season. UND almost made the D2 World Series. Unfortunately, fell in the Elite Eight round. 3-2. Misses outside. Ball 4. So Nihas takes a base.
It's a strike.
Now batting for the Grays, the center fielder, number 39, Griffin.
Cardenas, a lot of tread on his arm from the college season.
He's up against Griffin Cooley for the first time this season, the LSU center fielder. He's got runners at first and second with 1 out. Takes one on the low inside corner for strike 1. The fastball has been good from Cardenas.
Another guy that's used to playing in this heat.
He's from Kinder, Louisiana. The lefty was first state All-Louisiana in his high school days. Takes one in the dirt for ball 1. I should say in the turf. There's no dirt on this infield. Just the black rubber pellets. Although it doesn't roll off the tongue to say in the pellets, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like a euphemism. 1-1 the count. 1 out, 2 on. Runners at second and first. Swing right to first base. Davis looking to turn 2. Throws to second. Got him out at second, but the fielder's choice will bring the runner to first and another runner to third. Ruocco beats everything to third. And the challenge play back to Cooley at first was not there.
It's a phenomenal play by Carter Hines to not only get the out, but keep the ball in the infield. Because if that gets by him, Ruocco scores from home, from third.
Davis, the first baseman, really whipped it at the shortstop, who had to dive to keep it in play and tag the base. Fielder's choice brings us to 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Runners in the corners. With the bottom of the order up, Danny Likas, the catcher from Rhode Island. Swings and misses for strike 1. Likas played in one previous game against the Cropdusters. Went 1 for 4 in that game with a strikeout. That was the first game these two teams played. A 4-1 win for the Grays. 2 outs. 2 runners on. 0-1. Hit right up the middle. Cardenas can't make the play at the pitcher's mound. 1 run scores, but the throw back to first is on time. Carter Hines makes something out of nothing, throws out the runner, but that mitigates the run, so it's still 1-0 Cropdusters.
Carter Hines feels like he hasn't played as much shortstop as of late, been bouncing around, DHing second base, but he looks like he hasn't skipped a beat, Jish. That's a really nice play to react off of the glove of Cardenas, fire it into first on the run for the out.
The speed from Likas could not beat the throw on a rope from Carter Hines to end the inning. It leaves runners stranded at first and third. The Cropdusters look to take advantage of more runners on. When we return for the top of the third inning, they lead it 1-0 over the DC Grays. One nothing this score. Cropdusters on top of the DC Grays. To the third inning we go. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. Mac Lewis, the Purdue second baseman, leads off in this third inning for the Cropdusters. 0 for 1 on the day, with a fielder's choice ground out his last at-bat. Brought Carter Hines to third, but he'll have to lead off this time around. First pitch from Savedoff, low and in for ball 1. Savedoff has gotten a lucky break so far today. Has allowed 1 run already, but got out of a bases-loaded jam in the last inning. 1-0 the count. The pitch. Too high, too far away. Ball 2. A curveball careens away from the lefty Lewis. 2-0 the count with no outs in the top of this third inning. Base is empty. The pitch. Right down the middle, strike one. That's the pitch that's worked for Savedoff all day. A slower of a fastball, but when it's right down the middle, it's frozen these Cropdusters batters thus far. 2-1. High and away, ball 3. Mac Lewis is seeing it well.
Corey Swanson was talking to us before the game how this is not their first time seeing Savedoff. They know what he throws, and it could be why there's so much traffic on the bases today.
3-1 the count, none on, no outs. Hit on a line to third. Marmo fields it off the hop. The transition out of his glove is on time, and the throw throws the first baseman Lehman off the bag, but he recovers in time before Lewis can beat the run back.
It's like the buttons on Marmo's jersey all came loose. Did you see that?
Looked like it popped off the infield into his shirt, dislodged a few buttons, but you know what? You might as well keep him undone on a hot day like today.
Play like that.
Ehiokoje has the game's lone RBI in his last at-bat on a fielder's choice. Brought Carter Hines home from third. 1-0 Cropdusters. In the top of the third, Ehiokoje takes one high and in for strike one. The curveball finally strikes the zone. 0-1 the count, the pitch. Too low, ball 1. Koje evens things up with a ball and a strike.
Koje really trying to find his rhythm. First time getting consistent playing time in a while.
1-1 the count with 1 out and none on in the top of the third. Crops lead 1-0. Savedoff from the windup. Misses high and in, ball 2. Koje having to duck to safety on that one. We've already seen Koje get hit by 3 pitches in the last 2 days. So he sure can't. He sure is used to it, but I'm sure he don't want him to get hit again for a 4th time. 2-1 the count, 1 out. The pitch. Koje cracks one to short. Colella can't field it. An error by the shortstop will put Koje on base for the first time.
That ball was smoked by Koje, and the downside of playing on turf defensively, overall it's easier to field, but the ball is coming at you faster. And
that's the point, Jack.
Just couldn't
The bounces might be a little bit more predictable, but it's coming at you way harder. Now, Nick Lukac is up to bat. Flew out his previous time at the plate to end the inning. He's got a runner on and takes the first pitch as a strike low and away. Good curveball from Savedoff. He's finding the command and location of it now.
Lukac going with the all-black arm sleeve. I imagine that'd be pretty hot on a day like today.
Maybe so, but if any part of your body's going to be hot as a batter, you'd rather it be your arm, right, Jack?
Whatever works, Jish. If he hits well in it.
He's hit .350 on the year coming in. Koje, the blown base runner at first, has some speed on the base paths. Curveball falls out of his hand early and misses wide for ball 2. Lukac did not play in last night's win over the Big Train, but is a real speed threat playing left field today. The 1-1, runner goes. Strike is low. The slide from Koje beats out the tag at the second base bag. Good effort from Colella and the catcher Likis to cover quickly, but Koje started that slide early and was able to maneuver around the tag. So a successful steal from Koje, the second for the Cropdusters today. Nick Lukac with a 1-2 count back at the bag after the called strike. The 1-2. Swing and a pop fly to foul territory. He'll stay alive at 1-2 after he fouls it off right. Koje, the lone base runner at second. 1 out in the top of this third. The Crops lead 1-0. Nick Lukac, the righty batter at the plate, facing off against the Lafayette righty Corey Savedoff for the Grays.
Yet another runner in scoring position for the Cropdusters.
We'll see if they take advantage of it this time. The 1-2. Too high, ball 2. Lukac sees the zone well. The curveball gets away from Savedoff yet again. 2-2 the count. 1 out and a runner at second. Ehiokoje, if a ball's put in play, you can expect him to round home. 2-2 the count. 1 out, the pitch. Takes it low and away. Ball 3. A good effort from Likis to frame it on the bottom corner, but a curveball just broke too quickly and sunk too low. It's now a full count. with a runner at second base and 1 out in the top of this 3rd inning. Savedoff taking a little bit more time before this one. Misses inside. The curveball can't find the zone. Lukac takes first base.
Ryan Boma coming up to the plate. A guy that started off the season on fire, dipped a little bit, and then as of late has really started to pick it up. Hitting for power, hitting for contact, really doing it all.
Boma.
Ryan Boma hitting .275 on the year. Was the hitter of the only 2 balls against the Thunderbolts 2 games ago. A 5-0 win for the Crops. All of the hits came for Boma's bat. Takes one high and in for strike 1. The fastball beats Boma for the first strike. Boma on his last at-bat grounded out on the first pitch. This time takes the first one and settles back in with an 0-1. Runners at first and second with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Crops lead 1-0. The 0-1 offering misses high and away for ball 1. That curveball has to be the most polarizing pitch in Savedoff's arsenal.
It's missing outside today, and Cropdusters hitters have done a really nice job of laying off the outside pitch.
1-1 the count, staying disciplined today, not taking the bait on the outside pitches. 1-1, 1 out, 2 on. The pitch, both runners go. The throw back to third. Okoje slides and beats it. A double steal is successful to put 2 runners in scoring position. Takes the double play off the table with 1 out and gives a much better situation for Ryan Boma with now a sac fly on the table.
Did you see how early Okoje slid at third base, Jish? That looked like a slip and slide.
With the turf field, it's definitely to your advantage to slide early because you can overshoot it if you slide too late. 2-1. Takes one on the corner of the bump for strike 2. A well-placed curveball in the low-away corner that seems to be the only pitch Savedoff is employing. Say maybe a 40% success rate. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Runners at third and second. Okoje at third. Lukac at second. Swinging a foul ball backwards. He'll stay alive at 2-2. Lukac got the timing down, but popped it up.
Some interesting dimensions here at Prince George's Community College. Probably the hardest ballpark in the Ripken League to hit a homer out of.
Say about a 12-foot fence all the way around that outfield. Grays are last in the league in home runs with just 2 this season. 2-2 the count. 1 out. Curveball misses outside for ball 3. An empty base at first, and perhaps if you put him on, you set up the inning-ending double play. We'll see if Savedoff wants it all right here, though. Full count on the way next with 1 out. Top of the 3rd, the Crops lead 1-0 with 2 runners in scoring position.
Grays bringing the entire infield in.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ryan Boma wanted it. Didn't get it. Fastball misses outside, but Boma couldn't get some bat on it. So it takes the sac fly off the table with a runner at third and another runner at second, and it brings up Coy Swanson, the center fielder, to bat.
He hammered a ball to left field last time up, just right at the left fielder.
Lined at Oppo Taco, but just could not find the gap. Told us before the game he's looking for a home run today. 2 outs. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Curveball sneaks over Swanson's bat. Takes a step out and back into the lefty batter's box.
But is Coy Swanson not looking for a home run? Seems like one of the premier power hitters on the Dusters.
2 home runs, second on the team. 0-1 the count. Smarter with the take that time. A high fastball misses away for ball 1. But it will be definitely a chore to poke one out of this ballpark with that tall fence in the outfield. But if anyone can do it, it's Coy Swanson.
He'd really have to get a hold of one.
1-1 the count. 2 outs, 2 on at second and third. The pitch. Swinging a lined foul ball for strike 2.
He did say he likes the weather today. He feels like ball can be flying.
The hotter weather, the ball typically does float up there a little bit more. Something to do with air density. I'm no scientist, but
it's not our area of expertise.
We'll call the balls and strikes. How about that? 1-2 the count. 2 outs, 2 in scoring position for the Cropdusters. They lead 1-0 in the top of the 3rd. Takes one in the zone for strike 3. A looking strikeout. Coy Swanson shakes his head as he walks back to the dugout. Doesn't quite like the call. And again, the Cropdusters leave 2 on in scoring position with the same score after 3 innings. It's 1-0 Cropdusters on top of the home team Grays. To the bottom of the third we go on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call.
Yeah.
1-0 the Cropdusters lead over the Grays has remained at just 1 for the past 3 innings. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. Cropdusters bat
Leading off
have
for
to
the
do a better
Grays,
job
outfielder
of
number
bringing in
22,
runners.
Owens.
Really been the same issue, just runners in scoring position.
Eli Owens, the top of the order hitter, leads off the third inning for the Grays and takes one low and in for strike 1. Cardenas, the righty, deals to the lefty, still in search of that first strikeout. 0-1 the count. A weakly hit ball foul, just barely chopped beyond the first base line for strike 2. Looked like it jammed him. Owens is a guy who struck out to the Cropdusters pitchers twice, both of them coming in the last game, a 13-3 win for the Grays. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Diego Cardenas collects his first punch-out of the afternoon, comes on a swing against the top of the order hitter, Eli Owens.
When Diego Cardenas is on the mound, you just always feel like you're going to have a chance to win. Just does such a good job of throwing strikes, pitching to weak contact.
Well, Colella had Diego Cardenas' number the last time he was up, 1 for 1 in the day. And he cracks another one over the head of Lewis, who dives, and he made the grab! Second baseman Lewis running onto the green-colored turf, dives and makes the play to rapturous applause from his dugout.
He's been stellar today, Jish. Second really great play he's made.
A bang-bang play for the second baseman. 2 quick outs to the Grays in the bottom of this third. Cropdusters lead at 1-0 with 2 outs now in the third inning, and the 3-hole hitter, Lehman, up to bat. Got hit by a pitch his last time up. Shows bunt. Keeps it in play. It's traveling. Cardenas fields it off the bump, makes the throw back to first on time and on the money for out number 3.
Jish, I was talking earlier about how Cardenas does all the little things right. That's another example of it. Pouncing off the mound, barehanding the ball, making an accurate throw to first.
An athletic play from the pitcher Cardenas to put this inning away on just 3, or on 1, 2, 3. Struck out the first batter, line out, and then a ground out to the pitcher. Gives the Cropdusters bats another chance to get things going in the top of the 4th. Stay with us on YouTube. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. The Cropdusters have left 5 on in the past 2 innings. They lead 1-0 over the DC Grays. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. But this is starting to look a lot like the first time these two teams played when the Cropdusters left 14 on base.
Certainly is, Jish. That's been the problem against the Grays pretty much every game they played them. Just have not been able to do the job with runners in scoring position in less than 2 outs.
Top of the 4th we go. Connor Spellman, the catcher, to lead off, walked his last time up, and fortunately for the Cropdusters, the Grays' bats have not been any more successful, still with no runs so far after they scored 13 the last time these teams played. Spellman swings through the first pitch, a low fastball for strike 1.
Connor Spellman, a guy you're confident in leading off, does such a good job of working counts, getting on base.
Savedoff ahead of him early. 0-1 the count, no outs and none on. Spellman takes a curveball high and foul for strike 2. Savedoff has allowed 1 run, 2 walks, and 1 hit, but has 2 strikeouts on the game. He can finish the job with 2 strikes, which is what he has right now. No outs and none on. 0-2 the count. Savedoff shakes off the first pitch, steps back, and delivers from the windup. Spellman takes one off the dish. Ball 1.
Another fantastic take from Spellman right off the corner.
One that could have gone either way. Spellman thinks better of it and stays alive. 1-2 the count. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Spellman goes down on strikes. And it brings up Ben Davis, who reached on a hit by pitch last time up.
Seems like all the Cropduster players are going with the turfs today. A little too hot for the metal cleats.
The first baseman.
They were told
32,
explicitly
Ben.
not to wear the metal cleats. They
Also
could
on a turf field.
definitely
Makes sense,
melt
too.
on a hot day like today,
Davis.
102 degrees. First pitch to Davis, too high, too far away, ball 1. The velocity has taken a dip from Savedoff.
You saw the same thing last time. His velo really fluctuated throughout the game.
1-0 the count. He shakes off the first pitch. Savedoff likes the second. Stands tall and delivers from the windup. Davis powers one deep into left field. It's traveling towards the gap, but it's Owens who camps under it, makes the two-handed squeeze in the gap for out number 2.
Well, when you're struggling like Ben Davis is, just seems like every hard hit ball he has is just right at a fielder.
Griffin.
Hit well into opposite field. Both lefties, or 2 of the 3 lefties we've seen, have gone that way on their swings. Coy Swanson had a very similar line out back in the second inning. It's Griffin Puvel up to bat with 2 outs. He takes one high for ball 1. He was also hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Crops lead 1-0 in the top of the 4th inning with none on and 2 outs. Puvel, a .250 hitter, hits 1 out of every 4. Takes a fastball off the dirt for ball 2.
Both pitchers up until this point doing a pretty good job of throwing strikes, and this game's flying by so far.
Hey, knock on wood. Last night's game against the Big Train
Yeah,
went
I was flying
4
by
hours.
until it wasn't.
It's usually how it goes. At the bottom of the 9th, the Big Train put up 8 runs to lose to 13-12 to the Cropdusters. Puvel takes the 2-0 low for 3 balls to no strikes. Puvel has 10 strikeouts on the year, but is seeing the zone well today. 3-0. Right down the middle, strike 1.
Last night really was one of the more, probably the craziest baseball game I've ever
It's
seen.
just, whenever you have the Cropdusters chasing the Big Train, it can never be a blowout. It always has to be a big game, and the law of averages came back in a huge way to bite the Cropdusters. Puvel takes the 3-1 high, ball 4. He'll keep the inning alive with a walk, and it brings up the top of the order. Carter Hines gets his 3rd at-bat.
We've seen a couple of stolen bases already for the Cropdusters. Griffin Puvel,
Shortstop.
certainly
Number
someone
4,
that can fly.
Carter
We'll see if he
Hines.
steals one here.
Puvel already with 4 stolen bases on the year. That is the 2nd most on the team behind, or the 3rd most, behind Carter Hines, who's in first place with 6. Make that 7 after 1 today. Throw back to first and nothing doing. Puvel slides head first back into base. So with 2 outs, the Cropdusters lead 1-0. They've got a runner on, and Carter Hines up to bat. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's scored the only run so far for the Crops. 2 outs, 1 on. The pitch. Too low, ball 1. Curveball right down the middle, but too low. Carter Hines thinks better of a swing. He goes ahead. Hines lined out to center to end the inning, his last at-bat. The 1-0, hit up the middle, through the second base side for a base hit and then some. Huvel rounds for third. Carter Hines thought about 2, but he'll stay at first. Huvel had a steal jump, which brought the second baseman over to the second base side, and Carter Hines hit it between the wide gap in first and second to keep this inning alive.
Just a textbook hit and run right there. Ruocco went to cover the stolen base. Carter Hines put it on a line right through that hole.
If Ruocco didn't make that cover and the shortstop did instead, we could be looking at the end of the inning. Instead, there's runners in the corners with 2 outs, and now a meeting at the mound. Corey Savedoff meets with his infielders and his coach. Looks as though a reliever might be coming on in his stead. Savedoff's day is done after going 3 2/3. Reliever's on, that's number 44. I'll get you a name for him in just a second. It's Matt Likas, the brother of Danny Likas. A new addition to the team just recently. He hails from James Madison University in Lutherville, Maryland. So it's now brothers.
Pitching and catching to each other.
You gotta imagine the chemistry's pretty good. Hopefully no cross-ups between the 2 brothers. Matt Likas, the older brother. Danny Likas, the baby brother.
Going back to Carter Hines' hit and run. That's just what makes him so dangerous. His first at-bat, he had the high chopper. With his speed, he can really beat out a lot of the infield singles. And when you put the ball in play as much as Hines does, it's a dangerous thing.
Might be one of the best contact hitters in the entire Ripken League. Hines is hitting north of 360 on the season in batting average, which shockingly doesn't even rank in the top 5 of the Ripken League. The Thunderbolts have a bunch of guys hitting over 400 on the year.
It's really been their MO. They have a lot of high contact guys. I mean, the Thunderbolts leadoff hitter, Jeff Sabater, is getting close to 500.
Following up what he did at Millersville this past season. This is Likas' first appearance on the mound for the Grays this season.
He's going to be facing the heart of this Cropdusters order.
Likas didn't get a lot of run at JMU this past spring, so this will be his first action in a while. Only 1 appearance where he threw 1 wild pitch and was subsequently benched. He only got to throw 1 pitch in college.
Pretty short leash, Jish.
Very short leash. So he'll see if he's still got it with 2 outs and runners in the corners. Top of the 4th, the Crops lead 1-0. Mac Lewis up to bat. Runner goes. Takes a strike high, but the challenge throw does not come in as Carter Hines slips and stumbles his way for a stolen base at second.
He's going to hear about that from the dugout.
So it puts 2 runners in scoring position again with 2 outs. Stop me if you heard this one before. The exact same scenario as the last inning. The Cropdusters failed to score with 2 outs. The 0-1. Check swing. High and in. Strike 2. The command is lethal from Matt Likas. 1 strike away from ending the inning. In the top of the 4th. Cropdusters lead 1-0 with runners at 3rd and 2nd. Lewis has to see the zone better to keep the inning alive. Likas shakes off the first pitch from his brother, settles back in, and delivers the 0-2. Swing and a foul ball, Mac Lewis keeps the inning alive. This time, Likas went with his own curveball, but Lewis hit it at the last possible moment that he could to avoid the strike 3.
Mac Lewis does a really good job of just hitting to all fields.
0-2 the count. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Lewis 0 for 2 on the day. Takes one high and in, strike 3.
Still not a strike.
Matt Likas puts the inning away with 4 pitches to get out of yet another jam. The Cropdusters leave 2 on at 2nd and 3rd again. They still lead 1-0, but every lead is fragile. Grays have a chance to break into that lead when we return for the bottom of the 4th inning with a new pitcher on the mound for the Cropdusters. Stay with us. One nothing. The Cropdusters lead midway through the 4th inning. It's been that score for the past 4 innings. The Cropdusters got their first run at the top of the 1st, and they've got a new pitcher on the mound right now. It's Steve Shenning getting his 2nd run at the DC Grays.
Shenning, a Ripken's leading veteran.
It's his 3rd season with the Cropdusters. He only went 1 inning against the Grays in the last time they played. Went 1 inning with no runs and a walk. No strikeouts, but starts off with a strike to Patrick Niehaus, the designated hitter. 0-1 the count. Goes with the exact same pitch. The curveball misses outside this time for ball 1. Although in the last inning, it looked like that was a strike that ended the frame. 1-1 the count with no outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss from number 16. That's not Niehaus. That is Michael Lavenga up to bat. He's down 1-2. He gets heckled by the Cropdusters bullpen after that swing. 1-2 the count. Bounces off the turf. Ball 2.
Shenning slider looking really good early. Cropdusters bullpen loud today. Not as loud as the Braves game, but certainly loud.
Definitely not.
That game, it was like they had a megaphone back there.
What it really is this Cropdusters team is getting a lot closer. The 2-2. Swing and a foul ball. Lavenga stays alive. And the chirping continues. I think as this team grows more comfortable with one another, they'll grow more comfortable with their bullpen, their dugout antics. You know, when you just meet these guys, you don't want to come across as maybe like a loudmouth, as obnoxious, but now that they're a team, they can heckle together. 2-2. Check swing, misses low, ball 3.
Shenning's throwing about 3 to 4 just perfect sliders spotted up, darting out of the zone.
He hasn't challenged with the fastball as of yet. The 2-2. Popped in the air, pointed up, and Lewis tracks back onto the grass, makes the squeeze at his second base position for out number 1. Weak contact and a pop out to get things started.
So after last night, we have found that the Cropdusters can catch pop flies.
Oh my goodness. Yesterday, the Cropdusters could have ended the game on 3 separate occasions. Pop flies, pretty routine, but they were all dropped. It resulted in ample runs for the big train, allowed them to score 8 runs to come all the way back. A 13-12 Crops victory. Rucco keeps it up the middle. Lewis fields it at second. Makes the throw to first on time for out number 2.
Back-to-back plays for Mac Lewis over at second. Definitely his best defensive game so far this season. He's made the routine plays, made a couple of great plays all over the field.
He's been slipping, he's been sliding, he's been moving, tracking, running, grooving, whatever you want to call Mac Lewis's performance. It's been really good defensively.
Sounds like the beginning of a song there, Jish.
You know, I dabble. Greg Marmo, the third baseman, now up to bat. Takes the first pitch low and in for strike 1. Great movement on the off-speed from Shenning to cross up Marmo. He's 0 for 1 in the day. Pops one foul. Davis stares at it as it falls out of play on the right field side. Strike 2.
Shenning feeding these Grays hitters a steady diet of sliders. He's been all over it with that pitch.
And they are eating them up. I could go for a steady diet of sliders right now, Jack. 0-2 the count. 2 outs and none on. The pitch. Checks his swing high. Did he go? No, he did not, says the first base umpire. That would have ended the inning with 2 outs. Instead, it's a ball and 2 strikes. The Cropdusters dug out beside themselves. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Crops lead 1-0. Marmo needs another minute to think about it after checking his swing on the 0-2.
You could go for some sliders right now. I think I could go for a bucket of ice water dumped on my head.
I definitely could as well. It's a hot one today. The 1-2. Low and away. Ball 2. Schenning hasn't put him away yet. Already with a strikeout so far. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, none on. The pitch. Off speed misses inside for the ball 3. A full count now for Steve Schenning. Right on the corner, too. Full count. 2 outs, none on. Greg Marmo works his way back after going down 0-2. Schenning likes the first pitch and delivers from the windup. Swing and a hard foul ball down the right field line for a survival 3-2 swing.
Schenning doing a really good job of not giving in, attacking these Grays hitters.
3-2 the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Crops lead 1-0 with none on. The full count offering. Too low, ball 4. Greg Marmo takes a base on a walk. Steve Schenning shakes it off after believing to have struck him out perhaps 2 or 3 times that at-bat.
Designated hitter number 30, Pat Niehaus.
Patrick Nee is up to bat now for the Grays. Walked his previous at-bat. He's got a runner at first with 2 outs. Takes the first pitch right down the middle for strike 1. The off-speed finds the outside part of the zone.
Schenning doing a really nice job of getting ahead of batters with that off-speed. Right on the outside corner.
0-1 the count. 2 outs and a runner at first. Greg Marmo. The pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss. Spellman pops up, the throw to second, not on time. Marmo takes second base on a successful steal, but a swing and a miss back at the plate puts Pat Niehaus down 0-2. 1 strike away from the inning. Schenning looking for the right one right here. 0-2 the count. 2 outs and a runner at second in the bottom of this 4th. He takes a healthy lead at second. The off-speed right down the middle, a looking strike 3.
Great job by Steve Schenning. I don't know why he didn't just step off there. The runner slipped halfway in between short and second. He could have stepped off and walked to second base to get the out.
Whatever the case may be, he gets the strikeout. He's all smiles. The dugout is screaming at him. They love to see it. The Cropdusters hold on to the 1-0 advantage after 4 innings. The Cropdusters bats looking to put some more runners across the top of the 5th. Stay with us on YouTube to see if they do. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. One nothing. Cropdusters on top of Grays. To the top of the 5th inning we go. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call here on YouTube. And the pitching for the Cropdusters has been a lot better this time around than the last time. A 13-3 loss for the Cropdusters at home. But the bats just have not kept up for the Crops.
It's been the same song and dance. They've gotten ducks on the pond, just have not been able to break through, get them in. And that's something they're going to have to do if they want to win this ball game.
Ehia Koje up to bat. Had an RBI off of a fielder's choice in his first at-bat, then reached on an error his second at-bat. Was left stranded at third. He pops up the first pitch from Likas to the shortstop Kalela, who stares at it in the sun and makes the grab for out number 1. An infield pop-up to put the Cropdusters down and out after just one pitch.
The left fielder, number 25, Nick Lukac.
Now it's Nick Lukac up to bat. He's 0 for 1 in the day, but a walk put him on base his first at-bat. With one out, he takes one low for ball one, the first ball that Matt Likas, the Grays pitcher, has thrown today after coming in with 2 outs in the last frame. 1-0 the count, with none on and 1 out in the top of the 5th. Crops lead by 1. Pitch from the windup. Low and away, ball 2. The slider does not fool Nick Lukac, who pulls ahead even further ahead of the pitcher. 2-0 the count. Likas steps and delivers. Right down the middle, strike 1, a deceptive fastball tucked away in the bottom corner.
Likas doing a great job of pounding the zone today, as you said, Jish.
2-1 the count, 1 out. Lukac stares at a curveball down the middle for strike 2.
For someone who only had 1 college appearance, that was 1 wild pitch. Seems like he's throwing a lot of strikes today.
2-2 the count, 1 out. That's hit on a line to second. Ruocco fields it, makes the throw to first on time for out number 2.
Another good swing by Lukac, just right at the second baseman, Ruocco.
Number 16, Ryan Boma.
Ryan Boma up to bat now, the third baseman for the Cropdusters. Struck out his last at-bat, swinging at one high and away, but this is his first time facing Likas. 2 outs and none on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. The curveball snuck underneath Boma's bat.
Likas looking really sharp, has command of both his pitches.
0-1 the count. Too high, ball 1. Boma evens things up with a ball and a strike. Boma, the Frostburg third baseman, steps back in. Even count, none on. 2 outs. Crops lead 1-0 in the top of the 5th. Low and away, ball 2. Boma steps back in. This is where the Cropdusters have done most of their work with 2 outs. The 2-1. High and in, ball 3. Boma seeing the zone well after striking out his last at-bat.
Such a disciplined hitter in the box.
3-1 the count, 2 outs. Swing and a powerfully hit ball into left. Owens runs up, makes the sliding play for out number 3. An impressive feat for a slide from Owens out in left field. His busy day continues, and the Cropdusters are put down in order. A 1-2-3 inning to put an end to the 5th. Crops still lead 1-0. The pitching will have to remain strong as we close out the 5th inning next on YouTube. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call for this one. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Cropdusters lead 1-0. The story of the day has been the pitching for both sides. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call for this low-scoring affair, very similar to the last time these teams played.
Steve Shennick has picked up right where Diego Cardenas has left off, throwing a lot of strikes, really utilizing that breaking ball.
Even the strikes that were right around the zone could have been called either way. Leading off for the Grays this inning is the 8-hole hitter, Griffin Cooley, the center fielder today, hitting 100 on the season. First pitch is powered into the gap at right field. Puvel runs up on a mad dash and makes the play, losing the hat and making the grab right before running onto the infield dirt. Griffin Puvel has so much range in right field.
Just death, taxes, and Griffin Puvel's hat flying off. Seems like that happens a couple times a game.
I'm sure he'll take that cool breeze running in his face, running for that fly ball on a hot day like today. 1 pitch, 1 out. Crops lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And now it is the bottom of the order, Danny Likas, who swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Likas 0 for 1 on the day. Now 0-1 at the plate. Takes the 0-1 high for ball 1. Evens things up with an out and none on in the bottom of this 5th. A 1-1 count. No runners on and 1 out. The pitch, Likas hits it on a line up the middle, and it falls in front of the center fielder, Swanson, who fields it off a hop. But the single gets across, and the top of the order is back up for the Grays. Eli Owens steps up to bat.
It's a nice job of Corey Swanson fielding that on the hop. We've seen at this ballpark specifically, balls in the outfield can really hop up, and we've seen it get over the outfielders' heads a couple of times.
Tying run at first base, it's Danny Likas, the catcher, with Eli Owens, the man at the bat. He hits one on a line, flying out to left field. Lukac chases it, but it lands for a base hit. He fields it on the backhand and stops the runner at second. So 2 straight hits from Steve Schenning to put the tying run in scoring position. And Matt Colella up to bat, the dangerous hitter for the Grays.
That's just a little duck fart to left field.
Duck fart?
It's a term.
Is that a SEC regulated?
It's a baseball term. People say that.
14, Matt
I don't know, man. I think they're going to come for us now. Duck fart.
Colella.
Regardless of what you want to call it, a well-hit pulled ball to left field, and it brings up Matt Colella with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, 2 runners on. Colella takes one in for strike 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day at the bat. Took his first pitch of the day in the first inning for a base hit, but was left stranded in that first inning. The Crops lead 1-0. The Grays are threatening in the bottom of this 5th. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and hit on the line over the head of Boma into left field. Lukac fields it off the hop, makes the throw, cut off, but the throw back to home is not made. The cutoff does not warrant another throw. Likas scores from second to make it 1-1. Cropdusters tied with Grays in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, it doesn't matter how many base runners you get on, Jish. The name of the game is to get them home.
The first
And the Grays have been doing that just as well as the Cropdusters so far.
Tied at 1 now. James Lehman up to bat with runners at first and second and 1 out. Double play still on the table to end the inning. But Steve Schenning needs to force some more ground balls and less balls hit to the outfield. Won't get it there as that one is fouled deep into left field. It'll land for strike 1. But now back-to-back hard-hit balls off of Steve Schenning. It's a matter of getting that mental toughness in gear and forcing the weak contact now.
Definitely something we've seen from this Grays team. They put the ball in play. They can have innings where they have a couple of hits strung together.
0-1 the count. Schenning stares down Lehman at the plate before taking a look back at second and delivers the 0-1. High and away, ball 1. When it rains, it pours for the DC Grays. In the first game they played here, all 4 of their runs came in back-to-back innings late in the game. They had a late rally. 1-1 count, 1 out, 2 runners on. Tie ball game 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. Right down the middle, strike 2. The high heat doesn't warrant a swing from Lehman, and he falls behind 1-2 to Steve Schenning.
If you're Steve Schenning, you just got to keep pitching to contact, keep being aggressive in the zone, and just try to get that ground ball.
1-2 the count, 1 out, 2 runners on at second and first. Schenning a look back at the second base bag and delivers.
Yes.
Right down the middle, a looking strike 3. James Lehman is put away. A great pitch from Steve Schenning to put him away. So after giving up 3 loud hits to bring in the first runs, Schenning steps back up and does a job. Now 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And it's Michael Lavenga up to bat, the cleanup hitter. He chops the first one foul for strike 1. Lavenga hits .297 on the year. That's the second best among eligible hitters on the Grays. Hence why he's hitting in cleanup duties tonight. Runners at second and first. It's a tie ball game, 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. With 2 outs. Shenning delivers. Low and away from the righty, ball 1. Lavenga has knocked 9 RBIs in this season already. That is the 3rd most on the Grays. Tying, or the go-ahead run, excuse me, is at second base. A look back that way from Shenning, and he delivers the 1-1. Swing, and it's hit on the ground to short. Hines dives but can't make the play. It's through to left field for a base hit and then some. Runner comes home from second, and that gives the Grays their first lead of the day. Elias Owen slides home, and the Grays lead at 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Jish, it seems like we're watching pretty much the same game as the last time the Cropdusters played here at PG Community College Field. Just Cropdusters not able to capitalize on their opportunities, and the Grays are, and that's really been the difference in this ballgame.
So now a meeting at the mound is in place. Mike Evans, the assistant coach, meets with Shenning, along with catcher Connor Spellman, just to re-screw his head back on his shoulders. Shenning has gone 1 2/3 so far. 2 strikeouts, 4 hits. Both earned runs to him with a walk as well. Shenning's just 1 out away from ending it. He's up against Anthony Rucco of the Grays. 1 for 2 on the day. Poked one through for a base hit his last time up. Another one could bring in the 3rd run for the Grays. It's 2-1 in favor of the home team. First pitch and off speed right down the middle for strike 1.
He's been doing that all day, getting ahead with the slider. Does a good job of it there.
0-1 the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and second. He takes a look back at the second base bag. And he steps into the 0-1. Popped in the air towards foul territory. Strike 2.
Shenning now 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
With damage possibly mitigated if he can get a well-placed pitch. 0-2 the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and second. The pitch. Swing and hit on a line to right field. Puvel camps under it and makes the grab for out number 3. The Cropdusters just gave the lead away, but they collect the 3rd out after 2 runs score for the Grays, and they leave 2 left on. The Cropdusters bats looking for their first run since the 1st inning, get to swing it again at the top of the 6th. Still plenty of time for a Cropdusters comeback. 2-1 the score. Grays on top of Crops. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call.
That's
2-1 the score. The Grays lead over the Cropdusters in the top of the 6th inning. Matt Likas, the pitcher for the Grays, has been on fire since taking over an inning and a half ago. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call. Coy Swanson to lead off against the righty. Coy Swanson still looking to bury his bat into one. He's 0 for 2 on the day. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout.
Coy Swanson.
Swanson hitting .297 on the year. First pitch, low and in, ball 1. Swanson ahead, 1 ball to no strikes, none on and no outs in the top of the 6th. The nod and the delivery from Likas. Swing and a miss, strike 2. A fastball low. Drew a swing from Swanson, but could not get a bat on it.
Like really in a groove, and the Grays are going to let him go. Only used 2 pitchers the last time these two teams played.
1-1 the count from the windup. Lakis deals. It's kept on the ground to the first base side. Lehman slides at first base and makes the throwback to the pitcher, Lakis, who covers the first base bag in time for out number 1. A great defensive play from Lehman, a quick reaction to rob Coy Swanson of the infield hit.
The catcher, number 20.
And now it brings up Connor Spellman to bat.
Feldman.
A walk and a strikeout have highlighted Spellman's day offensively. Hitting 154 on the season. He's got empty bases and 1 out. First pitch from Lakis misses outside for ball 1.
Cropdusters just need a base runner right now. They can't let Lakis just get into his groove.
1-0 the count. 1 out. Ball misses low for ball 2. Spellman has a good eye for this strike zone. 2-0 the count in the top of the 6th. The Grays lead the Cropdusters 2-1. The 2-0 misses in. Ball 3. Connor Spellman doesn't swing the bat too often, and it usually pays off for him. The 3-0. That one finally finds the black of the zone, buried into the away corner for strike 1. 3-1 count. Takes it high, but it lands in there. Great movement from Lakis to bring the count full. Strike 2. 3-2 the count, 1 out and none on for Spellman. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so Spellman was up 3-0 in that count and ends up striking out. That's the story of the day for the Cropdusters.
Lakis all around the zone. Those misses were not by much. He
Number
was able to
32.
come back and get the strikeout.
Ben Davis.
Ben Davis up to bat. The first baseman from McDaniel College steps up with 2 outs. Hitless in his last 6 games, 0 for 2 today, but a loud line out his last at-bat. He got a good piece of it. Takes the first pitch high for strike 1, Everything is working for Matt Lakis on the bump as the Grays lead 2-1 in the top of the 6th. Second pitch skips off the dirt, ball 1, so Davis evens things up with a ball and a strike. Davis was hit by a pitch his first at-bat, flew out his second. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Davis way out in front of a slider from Lakis. And Lakis is just 1 strike away from the inning. He misses low for ball 2. Catcher, his brother Danny, thought he had it. Instead, it evens things up with a ballerina count. 2-2. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. The Grays lead the Crops 2-1. The pitch. Too low, ball 3. Ben Davis works the count full with the inning on the line on a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Lakis nods, sets, delivers, and it's too far inside. Ben Davis takes a base via a walk.
Good at bat by Ben Davis, working the count full and taking the inside fastball for the free 90.
Griffin Puvel up to bat. Still no registered at-bats after a walk and a hit by pitch. But before he gets to swing and take, there's a meeting on the mound between Lakis, his brother, the infield, and the coach. He's been dealing so far today. It would be a surprise if his day was over. And it is not. After allowing just his first walk of the day, they're going to keep Matt Lakis out on the bump to keep going.
Puvel took it right off the elbow guard last at-bat.
That was his first at-bat. His second at-bat, he walked. He's made some great plays in defense in right field today. Some mad dashes. The hat has struggled to stay on the head. 2 outs and a runner on. The first pitch. Foul backwards right at the trackman box for strike 1. Right towards us. We're positioned diagonal away from the lefty batter's box. 0-1 the count for Puvel. Runner at first. That's Ben Davis. Lakis nods and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Lakis really dealing here. Tough to hit a ball hard against him right now.
0-2 the count. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. The Grays lead 2-1. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, that's the inning. Matt Likas is a machine. Cropdusters leave one on base this time at first, as Griffin Pouvel is sent packing with the inning-ending strikeout. 2-1, the Grays lead over the Crops midway through the 6th inning. They'll get to pile onto that lead when we return. Steve Shenning steps back out onto the hill for the Crops. Stay with us here on YouTube. Two-one, the Grays lead over the Cropdusters midway through the 6th inning. Jish Sokolsky and Jack Feldman on the call for this one. The Grays just took the lead in the last frame off of Steve Shenning's arm. Steve Shenning looking for more of a shutdown inning after allowing 3 base hits from the Grays to bring across 2. Shenning, of course, did close the door with
Leading off
a
for the
strikeout
Grays,
to
the third baseman, number 51.
and a
Greg
pop out.
Marmo.
It's Greg Marmo leading off for the Grays. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Walked from a full count his last at-bat. Shenning uses the slider to cut on the outside corner for strike 1. The 0-1. Swing and a pop fly ball to center field. Swanson and Pouvel giving chase in the right center gap. They run into each other, and Swanson makes the play. Could have been really scary as they both collided, but ball lands in Webb, and the Cropdusters are an outright cheer.
Yeah, they were very fortunate there.
That
Could have ended up a lot worse.
That's where you got to
Number
communicate in the
30,
outfield.
Pat
I got it, I got
Graham.
it, I got it.
It's a ball that maybe in a different ballpark could have been off the wall or gone.
It's a very deep outfield here at Prince George's Community College. Pat Nias up to bat. 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. He swings and misses on the first pitch for strike 1. On an outside and low curveball from Shenning. 0-1. Fastball misses low and away for ball 1.
Getting to the point where if you're a Grays hitter right now, you just kind of have to sit slider in the outside corner first pitch of the at-bat.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And today, the players who aren't playing are in their shorts. So we see 2 Cropdusters in pants now to our right. Jason Janesco and Bryce Herb, 2 outfielders, perhaps getting ready to go in. The 1-2 hit right up the middle. Shenning fields it on the top of the hill and makes the throw to first for out number 2. If Janesco's in, he went 3 for 5 last night. Arguably his best game as a Cropduster. 3 RBIs as well.
When he first came over, Jish, his timing was a little off, but he's starting to get it now, and he's hitting some hard balls.
Cooley.
Griffin Cooley up to bat for the Grays with the inning on his shoulders. He's 0 for 2 on the day, though. 2 outs. In the bottom of the 6th, he takes one low and in. Strike 1. See Parker Fry wearing pants as well as Bryce Herb. Perhaps some pinch hitters on the way when the Cropdusters' bats get going again. The 0-1 too low. Ball 1. 2 outs and none on. The Cropdusters trail the Grays 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. With 2 outs, though, Cooley settles in for a 1-1. Hit on the ground and through the second and first base side for a base hit to the outfield, a single, to keep the party going with 2 outs. Turns it over to the 9-hole hitter, Danny Likas. Likas got his first hit of the afternoon in his
Catcher
last
number
at-bat.
33. Dan Likas.
Likas' brother, Matt, has been absolutely shoving on the mound the other way for the Grays. Likas 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch, too low, ball 1. Fastball dies too soon. Runner at first base and 2 outs in the bottom of this 6th inning. The Grays lead 2-1. Schenning exhales, throws back to first, nothing doing. Cooley slides head first to beat the pickoff. 1-0 the count for Likas back at the plate. Schenning, deep breath and the delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 1. A foul tip barely grazing off of Likas' bat evens the things up at 1-1. We finally get a soft breeze blowing in our face, Jack.
Very nice. Big fan of this breeze,
I'm a
Jish.
big fan of it. We already
That's
got
my
the
analysis.
canopy above it. Great color hit. Caught him on the pickoff. Schenning with a throwback to first. Caught everyone by surprise. But none more than the runner Cooley, who is sent packing for out number 3. And the Cropdusters, still down by 1, get a chance to put some more runs on the board when we return. Top of the 7th next. 2-1 Grays lead over the Cropdusters. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call.
Now
New
pitching
pitcher
for the
on the
Grays,
mound for the DC Grays. It's Derek Desmarais.
Number 10, Derek.
So after Matt Likas shut down the Cropdusters' bats, only 1 walk, no hits, no runs. Desmarais takes the baton up 2-1 over the Cropdusters. To the top of the 7th we go. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. And Jack, earlier this broadcast, you made a comment talking about a duck fart, and I didn't think it was a baseball term, and it looks like our chat here on YouTube also agrees that...
Jish, I'm standing by it. I have the receipts. Look,
What receipts?
pulling up Twitter. I mean, there are numerous accounts talking about little singles
We're
barely
talking about
getting
accounts on
into
Twitter.
the outfield.
That
as
doesn't mean
duck
you say it on a
farts.
broadcast.
It's a baseball term.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean,
That's
a
a
lot of
baseball
people
term.
agree with me.
That's a baseball term, and I'm
These are verified
200
accounts,
pounds of
Jish.
pure muscle, Jack.
Leading off for the Cropdusters, the shortstop.
Yeah,
Stand by.
you only have to pay $8 to get verified these days, Jack.
I
Being a
stand
verified
by.
account means nothing. Derek Desmarais, the new pitcher for the Grays, hoping to not throw any duck farts to these Cropdusters, according to Jack. He's up against the top of
Just
the order.
Such a legitimate term.
Okay, the more you have to defend it, the less I believe you. Desmarais has only pitched in 1 inning so far this season with 1 strikeout. First pitch skips low for ball 1 to Carter Hines, the leadoff man for the Cropdusters in the top of the 7th.
Certainly an interesting decision to take Likas out. Gotta feel like heat was a factor there, maybe.
Have to imagine. The 1-0, chopped up the third base side and lands foul. Great quick reaction from Marmo, the third baseman, to run under it, but it lands foul. Perhaps a godsend for Carter Hines, who would have been thrown out.
This would be a great time for the Cropdusters to get back on the board. They have the top of the lineup coming up. Carter Hines can get on base. He's been
He'll have
stealing
to-
all day.
He'll have to do so against the rising freshman at Tufts University. He keeps it on the ground and through to the left field. No, the shortstop, Colella, makes the field, but the throw gets away from the first baseman. An infield single should still be scored to Hines. He would have beat that throw anyway, but it does help that the throw got away. Colella human on the throw, and Carter Hines is safe at first with no outs.
Just seems like this is a run they have to score, Jish.
They absolutely need to after failing to score their last time. Their first inning with a deficit. They're down 2-1 to the Grays. On top of the 7th, Mac Lewis up to bat. Looking for his first hit today. 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out to end the inning his last time up. He's got a runner at first. The speedy Carter Hines already is stolen today, and Des Murray knows it. He throws back to first, but nothing doing. The pickoff is unsuccessful.
Feels like one of those times where everybody in the ballpark knows what Carter Hines is thinking about.
Now it's a question of can they stop it, though. He's got blazing speed. The pitch. Right down the middle, strike one.
Des Murray is extremely quick to the plate, utilizing that slide step.
Des Murray, a St. Albans graduate, was teammates with Owen Basso, a Cropdusters pitchers you might see later today. The 0-1 cutoff attempt, unsuccessful. Hines slides back in to beat the throw.
Just, I'm pretty sure Des Murray hit me with a pitch in high school and broke my wrist.
Ouch.
Feel my wrist, Jish, for a second?
I've already felt it, Jack. I don't want to feel it again. The 0-1. Fouled off. Strike 2.
Might have to have some words with him after the game.
Maybe so. He is a two-way guy, though, so I'm sure he understands your pain as a batter. On his senior day at St. Albans, he saved the day with a walk-off double at the plate. 0-2 the count with no outs in the top of the 7th. Cropdusters trail by 1. Carter Hines, the base runner at first. Lewis fouls off the 0-2 to stay alive.
St. Albans had a lethal rotation that year. Owen Vasso, Des Murray, and then Miles Upchurch, the Power 5 commit.
Des Murray going to D3 Tufts University. Throwback to first. Not online. Des Murray, the righty, loves making that whip back to first, but Carter Hines is disciplined on the base paths. He's the lone runner with 2 strikes and no balls. The pitch just finds the outer portion of the zone. Strikeout looking to Mac Lewis to bring the first out to the scoreboard for the Grays this inning. Ahi Okoje up to bat now. 0 for 3 on the day.
Carter Hines has not attempted to steal a base on Des Murray just yet.
Des Murray keeps giving him looks, though. With 1 out and 1 on. Pitch right down the middle for strike 1.
He's doing a really good job of keeping him close, and like I said, she's extremely fast to the plate.
A little bit of a splitter action on that pitch. A late break, but Okoje stares at it midway through the zone. 0-1. Too high, too far in. Okoje limbos to safety for ball 1. Again, Okoje was hit by 3 pitches in the past 2 games. Almost a 4th right there. 1-1 the count. Runner at first with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Too low, ball 2. Okoje takes a step out and back in. Good discipline from the designated hitter. It's 2-1 Grays on top of Cropdusters in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss for strike 2. He was just a little bit too fast on a outside fastball.
Just really seems like this Cropdusters offense all of a sudden struggling.
2-2 the count. 1 out, and Carter Hines, the base runner, at first. Des Murray delivers. It's in there in the bottom corner for strike 3. Just barely caught Ahi Okoje looking, and that brings the second out to the board, and Nick Lukac up to bat. A brutal called strike for Okoje right off the corner.
The left fielder, number 25, Nick Lukac.
So now with 2 outs, Nick Lukac has the duty to keep the inning alive. Carter Hines, the lone base runner on with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Grays lead 2-1. Swing and a miss from Lukac, strike 1, chasing a fastball low. Lukac 0 for 2 with a walk today. Cropdusters only with 2 hits so far, both of them coming from Carter Hines. The 0-1 swung through again for strike 2. 2 big swings from Lukac, but he's in front of both pitches, and he's down to the final strike of the inning. 2 outs and 1 on. Des Murray a look back at first. Nods, kicks, and delivers. Runner goes. Ball misses high. Hines slides it. Skips away from the second baseman, Rucco, and into the outfield. Another successful steal for Carter Hines. to perhaps just put a jolt into Nick Lukac, who takes his first ball and keeps the inning alive.
Well, Lycus certainly had a chance at that. Desmarais fast to the plate. Lycus got a fastball up in the zone. Just couldn't put a good throw on.
1-2 the count, excuse me. 2 outs and a runner at second, Carter Hines. Lukac, the UND outfielder, at the plate. The pitch. Swing and a grounder to the third baseman, Marmo. Fields it on the grass, throw across the diamond, beats out the fast run from Lukac for out number 3. The frustrating day for the Cropdusters offense continues. 1 runner left on at second base as the 7th inning is done for the Crops bats. Bottom of the 7th on the way. When we return, the Grays lead the Cropdusters 2-1. Stay with us here on YouTube. Bottom of the 7th inning. Up next, the Grays lead the Cropdusters 2-1. Steve Schenning stays out on the mound for the Cropdusters.
Leading off for the Grays.
Leading off for the Grays is bottom of the order, Danny Lycus. After a caught stealing, ended the inning last time. Steve Schenning stays out for his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 ball, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts as he caught Lycus swinging out of his shoes for strike 1.
Pretty much every pitcher in this one has been really good. It's been classic pitcher's duel.
Which is kind of wild considering the blazing heat we have. 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Steve Schenning having his way with his batter early.
Certainly the best Schenning slider has looked all season. I mean, he's commanding that pitch wherever he wants.
0-2 the count. None on for the leadoff Lycus. Step back and the delivery. Caught him swinging for strike 3. A 3-pitch strikeout to start things off. Steve Schenning is red hot. Schenning collects his 3rd strikeout of the day to bring up the top of the Grays order. Eli Owens.
Number 22, Eli.
He's 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a run. Owens led off in all 3 Cropdusters games despite hitting .226 on the year. Keeps it on the ground to second. Lewis fields it off the hop, and the short throw to first is on time for out number 2. Steve Schenning already threw 2 outs in the bottom of this 7th inning. The Grays lead at 2-1. Brings up James Lehman, or Matt Colella, to bat. 2 for 3 on the day. Got to hit his last at bat. Brought in the first run for the Grays.
Seems like he always crushes the Cropdusters. Another 2 for 3 day.
First pitch to him. Too low, ball 1. Fastball just lacked the location. Colella sees it well and goes ahead. 1-0 the count. The pitch. Hits him right in the shoulder. Colella jogs to first base on a hit by pitch.
The first baseman, number 45.
So with 2 outs and a runner on, James Lehman steps up to bat to pour it on a little bit more for the DC Grays. They lead 2-1 at the bottom of the 7th. Lehman is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Pitch from Schenning. Hammered. Towered deep into right field. Puvel giving chase at the warning track. It's off the wall for extra bases. Puvel, the long throw back into the diamond. Doesn't beat the run to second, but the run home comes down to a play at the plate, which Kalela beats. An RBI double from James Lehman keeps the inning alive and extends the Grays' lead to 2. It's 3-1 DC in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs.
That ball was absolutely crushed. I think this might be the only ballpark in the Ripken League that holds that one in.
You're absolutely right, Jack. Over the first little fence.
Number 16,
Looks like there's 2 fences stacked on top of each other in the outfield here in DC. But it's now a 3-1 game, eerily similar to the last time these teams played, or the first time these teams played, a 4-1 victory for the Grays. Lavenga up to bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Takes one high and in, ball 1. Behind us, Owen Basso warms up for the Cropdusters. He will be the next pitcher in when Shenning's day is done. He's already allowed 3 runs today, with a runner threatening at second. 1-0 the count, 2 outs. The pitch, runner goes. Swing and a towering ball deep into left. Is that one out of here? It is! A home run climbs over the tall wall in left field. The Grays extend the lead to 5-1 in the bottom of the 7th. A huge swing from Matt Lavenga to bring in 2. The Grays are running away with it now.
Jish, we've talked about how difficult it is to hit home runs in this ballpark. And Matt Lavenga just did that, an absolute powering shot to left field, clearing the fence easily.
So the Cropdusters, who got off to a hot start, led 1-0 in the first inning, now find themselves down by 4 in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out to go. A pitching change is in order. Owen Basso takes the reins of this defense. With empty bases and a 4-run hole, Steve Shenning, his day is done.
Basso is rising sophomore in college, so still somewhat inexperienced at the collegiate level. Is yet to pitch in college, and he's a guy that has great stuff. We just have yet to really see the command from him just yet.
Owen Basso, the portal from Dayton University. His first outing came here at this very field, went 1 inning in that one. Went 2 strikeouts with 1 earned run, but 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches, low to the bases a few times. So you said it, Jack. Hit the nail on the head.
Pitching for the Cropdusters from the University of
Basso
Dayton,
has
number
struggled
17, Owen
with the command.
Basso.
Basso, another St. Albans guy, so we've got a whole St. Albans pitching staff on the hills today for either team. Basso was the pitcher of decision in a loss to the Alexandria Aces a week ago. A 3-2 loss, so can't blame it too much on him.
Basso with a 3-pitch mix, the fastball, the changeup, and the slider. Changeup really the pitch he likes to go to for the strikeouts. We'll throw it right on right as well as left to lefties.
So Basso concludes his warm-up pitches in just a bit.
It's just one of those games that it seemed like the Cropdusters were right in it, just were not able to capitalize on their opportunities, and now it seems like it might have gotten away from them a little bit.
It seems like that's been the case for most DC Grays wins this season. They keep base runners off or away from the plate, even after giving up strong leads. It's a similar story to even their win last night over the Southern Maryland Senators.
Anthony Ruocco.
The Senators scored 2 runs after the Grays scored 4. But it's really been a strong defense that has propelled the Grays to 7 wins so far this season. It's 5-1 DC in the bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. Basso's first pitch misses outside, a ball 1 on the fastball.
Grays also have the ability to just put together a big inning, and they've done that so many times.
1-0 the count for Ruocco, the batter in question, who chops one foul for strike 1. Popped down that third base line. A good reaction from Boma to cover it, but with no play to be made, Ruocco steps back in. Ruocco's 1 for 3 on the day. Had a single to left his last at-bat. 1-1 the count. The changeup misses low to make it 2-1. Ruocco pulls ahead of Basso. No runners on. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The Grays lead 5-1. 2-1 the count. Basso from the windup. It's hit up the middle. Hines, the shortstop, fields it on the ground, makes the throw to first. On time! Great extension from Davis to reach diagonally away from his body to make the inning-clenching out. Owen Basso does a job to turn it back over to the Cropdusters bats. Now down by 4. The top of the 8th beckons next. It's 5-1 Grays on top of Cropdusters. Stay with us here on YouTube. Yep. 5-1, the Grays exploded in the last inning to pull ahead of the Cropdusters by 4. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call for the top of this 8th inning now. Derek Desmarais had a very open and shut inning to the last time he was on the plate, or on the bump, excuse me, and he's back out there for another go at things. He faces off against Ryan Boma first. First pitch to Boma. Too low, ball 1, and, you know, even though the Cropdusters were blown out the last time they played this team, it still kind of feels like a hopeless cause as Boma sends one deep into left. It's traveling back. Owens looks at it. It's off the wall for extra bases. Boma hits the first extra base hit of the day, a double to lead off the 8th inning, and maybe I should eat my words. There's the hope you're looking for.
Beautiful swing by Ryan Bowman. Cropdusters just have to make the 9th inning as easy as possible, keep chipping away and giving themselves a chance to come back.
So now a pinch hitter in for the Cropdusters. Bryce Herb takes the place of Coy Swanson in center field.
Shippensburg University, number 11, Bryce Herb.
He's up to bat after bringing in 3 runners on a double last night. Takes the first pitch high, but it's a strike called in the upper portion. Herb, the Shippensburg outfielder, has played great defense, has some powerful swings, and is always good for extra bases. The 0-1. Hit on the ground to short. Colella fields it off the hop, makes the throw across the diamond for out number 1. A bang-bang play, a really quick play from the Grays infield to put away their first batter.
This is a run that the Cropdusters desperately need to get in. Cut the deficit to 3.
Take here, number 26, Connors.
The Cropdusters scored 1 run in the top of the first inning. None since. We're in the top of the 8th now. 1 out down with a runner at second. Connor Spellman up to bat for the Cropdusters. It's a 5-1 ball game. The Grays have pulled ahead. Swing and a miss from Spellman. A high swing on a low fastball for strike 1. Spellman has 2 strikeouts on the day to 1 walk. He's 0 for 2. The runner at second base, just the 3rd time the Cropdusters have had runners in scoring position. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again, strike 2.
Spellman has had a really tough time today hitting the off-speed, and Desmarais giving him a lot of breaking balls.
0-2 the count. Runner at second, Desmarais feeling himself on the bump. 1 out in the top of the 8th. Boma, the runner at second. The pitch. Too low, off the dirt, ball one. Parker Fry on deck, a pinch hitter for the Cropdusters. If Spellman gets on, he has hit 2 home runs in his last 3 games. Went 2 for 6 last night as well. Spellman takes one outside to extend his stay at the plate. Ball 2.
Parker Fry has been one of the Cropdusters' hottest hitters the past week or so.
2-2 the count. 1 out in the top of the 8th. The Crops trail 5-1 to the DC Grays. The pitch from Desmarais. Checked his swing, but it's a cold strike down the middle. Desmarais puts Connor Spellman away and brings up the second out of the inning, and Parker Fry is up to bat in relief of Ben Davis at first. A lot of Cropdusters having to put their pants on today. It was told today in the group me that
Pinch hitting for the Cropdusters.
players who weren't batting today did not have to wear their Cropdusters pants
Parker Fry.
due to the heat. So plenty of players that were wearing shorts put on the pants and are ready to go. Parker Fry takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1. The East Stroudsburg lefty not fooled by the low and away fastball. 1-0 the count, a runner at second. That's Ryan Boma, the Frostburg State third baseman. A look back from Desmarais in the 1-0. Too low this time inside for ball 2.
Really important at-bat for Parker Fry. Trying to do a little 2-out hitting with runners in scoring position.
Cropdusters have just 3 hits on the day. Ryan Boma collected the third earlier this inning. A huge double to lead off. The 2-0. Finally finds the zone. Fastball strikes the lower part to make it 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and 1 on. Parker Fry stands tall in the lefty batter's box. Desmarais a look back and the delivery. Swing and a foul ball, strike 2. Fry tried golfing a low fastball up the middle. Instead, it's sent backwards. A 2-2 count. 1 more strike would end the 8th inning for the Cropdusters bats. They're down 5-1 to DC in the top of the 8th. Desmarais takes a look back and delivers the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's your inning. The Cropdusters still are struggling to bring in runs. It's 5-1 Grays midway through the 8th inning. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call here on YouTube. The Cropdusters are moving some chess pieces around in the bottom of the 8th inning. They trail 5-1 to the DC Grays. A couple of defensive substitutions after some pinch hits happen. Parker Fry's in at first base for Ben Davis. Jason Janesco's in at right field for Griffin Pouvel. Bryce Herb takes center field for Coy Swanson. And Pat Sanchez is in at shortstop,
Leading off for the Grays, the third
moving
baseman,
Carter
number
Hines to second
51,
base and
Greg
subbing out Matt
Marmo.
Lewis. Greg Marmo leads off for the Grays. They lead 5-1 in the bottom of this 8th inning. Basso, the first pitch, misses high for ball 1.
Owen Basso able to escape the 7th, getting a ground ball, now in his first full innings of work.
1-0 the count. He's pitched just a third of an inning. Kept 2 runners on the last time. The 1-0 is hit on a line up the middle, right into the glove of Carter Hines, who leaps up and makes an Odell Beckham-esque catch above his head for the first out.
It's a spectacular play by the middle infielder. Can get up there, Jish.
Carter Hines with hops out of this world. He could probably clear that 12-foot fence in the outfield with that hop
From
alone.
San Diego State University, number 31, Manoah Chapman.
Manoah Chapman, a pinch hitter in for the Grays. They're up 5-1, but they're still moving pieces around. The San Diego State prospect is up with none on and one out. Takes one in for ball one. And that was a well-hit ball from Marmo, too.
That was it. Kept rising.
But Carter Hines hits the springboard to bring that one down. 1-0. Hit popped deep in the air to center field. Herb camps under it, tracks to his left, makes the squeeze for out number 2.
Good job by Basso, pitcher to contact, getting 2 quick outs.
Cooley up to bat now, 0 for 2 on the day, hitting
This
below 100
fielder,
this year.
Number 39, Griffin Cooley.
He is 1 for 3 on the day, hit a single his last at-bat. Basso, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, the Cropdusters trail 5-1, is 1 out away from ending it. First pitch high and away, ball 1, a huge grunt let out from Basso on the delivery.
And this is where, if you see Basso get ahead, he can really use that change-up with the lefty Cooley up.
He's behind 1-0 right now with 2 outs and none on. Basso from the windup. Puts one right down the middle, a fastball. Evens things up with a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. The Grays lead 5-1. Basso kicks and delivers. Changeup misses off the plate. Ball 2. The LSU outfielder settles in with a 2-1 count, 2 outs and none on. The windup misses low and away, ball 3. Basso takes the hat off and adjusts. A walk brings up Danny Likas, already with a powerful hit today. 3-1 the count. From the windup, too low, ball 4. Basso walks his first batter, and the inning stays alive for the Grays. Danny Likas, the catcher, now up to bat. 1 for 2 on the day. He's got a runner at first.
Owen Basso has to go right at Likas. Do not want to bring up the top of this Grays order.
Cropdusters have just one more chance to surmount a 5-1 lead. First pitch fouled off for strike 1.
Good job getting ahead by Basso.
Now that Basso is ahead, keep an eye out, or an ear out, I guess, for that changeup that Jack has been alluding to. 0-1 the count. 2 outs and a runner at first. Basso gives Cooley a look. Throws back that way. Runner slides in and stays safe. Already a runner caught stealing on a pickoff earlier today from Steve Schenning. Basso tried it. The 0-1. Misses high and in, ball 1. Dangerously high. A great job from Smellman to pop up and bring it back down to keep the runner at first. The last thing the Cropdusters want to do is give up yet another run. Already down by 4. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Really nice slider by Basso to get the whiff.
Likas has been eager to swing at plenty of pitch today. Now with a 1-2 count, he's 1 strike away from giving the Cropdusters one last chance of life. The 1-2, runner goes, swing and a miss high, that's your inning. Strike 3, Owen Basso dusted him. So the Cropdusters trail the Grays 5-1 heading into this 9th inning. They've got one more chance to surmount this lead, or else it's good night. Stay with us here on YouTube for what should be a thrilling conclusion. Jish, Sokolsky, Jack Feldman on the call. One last gasp for the Cropdusters awaits in the top of the ninth. They trail the DC Grays 5-1. Jish, Sokolsky, and Jack Feldman on the call. And Jack, we saw a crazy almost comeback yesterday. This lead is a lot less than the 9 runs the Crops led going into the 9th inning yesterday. The Grays lead by 4, and Jason Janesco leads off getting his first at-bat. He had 3 hits yesterday. First pitch from Desmarais is kept on the ground to third. Marmo fields it off the ground, makes the throw on time for out number 1. Janesco is put away. Cropdusters are down to their final 2 outs. That's one way to shut the door. Desmarais only needs 1 pitch to get 1 out closer to a Grays victory.
Number 4, Carter Hines.
Carter Hines, the top of the order, steps back up to bat. He has 2 of the Cropdusters' 3 hits today. He's been doing it all after making a spectacular play on defense last inning. First pitch is hit on the line, and Marmo lays out to make the grab at the hot corner for out number 2.
An unbelievable play by Marmo, leaping into the air to snag that ball out of thin air.
It brings the Cropdusters to their final out. Pat Sanchez up to bat. The weight of the game on his shoulders. Greg Marmo with 2 spectacular plays to bring the Grays 1 out closer. They lead 5-1 in the top of the 9th. Desmarais, the first pitch. Sanchez takes it low, ball 1. Patrick Sanchez went 0 for 4 in last night's game versus the Big Train, the only member of the Cropdusters to not get a hit. The 1-0. Swing and towered into center field. This could be the ball game. Center fielder puts the glove over his head, makes the grab, and that's it. Out number 3 in the top of the 9th, the Cropdusters fall to the Grays 5-1 here at Prince George's Community College. The Grays continue to dominate the Cropdusters this season.
Different game, same story. The Cropdusters had plenty of base runners early on, just not able to get the big hit with runners in scoring position. Grays came back, extended the lead, and the Cropdusters just were not able to come out with a victory.
Cropdusters fall to 9-8 on the season, still at second place in the North Division. Grays move up to 500, 8-8 on the year. They are 3-0 against the Cropdusters. Cropdusters are back in action tomorrow in Gaithersburg to face the first place Gaithersburg Giants. We'll have the call for that one at 7 o'clock. Another away game, a radio-style broadcast for Jack Feldman and Jish Sokolsky. We've had a good time calling this one.